What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to GmiasWorld and EA Sports with this golden ticket flop, bro. It's been kind of crazy, right? But they're looking to fix it, and they've actually said it's coming from EA Sports themselves, that the golden tickets are going to be updated as time goes on at a later date. What that means, I have no idea. Okay, so it's a lot of craziness going on because, like I said, if you look at the fluctuation with the prices, you'll understand that it's not really good what's going on right now as far as golden tickets go. But I'm going to give you guys some insight into probably the best case scenario. Now, with the way that everything is set up, we're going to take a look at what makes sense regarding all of these golden tickets and what you could possibly do in order to make possibly more coins or end up taking a big L, because EA could probably say they're going to do it and they won't do it. Like, if you look at some of like the Ring of Honor cards, if you look at the dates and it tells you that they're going to take away abilities and the overall ability points that it's needed, and it never did it. So the fluctuation of the cards, their prices went down and actually went back up because when everybody realized, oh, they're not going to lose, their 0 AP abilities because EA just wrote it to lie to us, it went up in price for a little bit of time. And then it went back down because now they're outdated, most of the cards. But just to give you guys some insight into what's going on, right? We're going to take a look at, the overview of what's going on. Now, look, the only thing, like I said before, that they could add to this card to make it more OP would be Avalanche. Will they do that? I don't know. Okay, so I'm not telling you to spend whatever it is for this guy. Like, let's go see what his price is, and we'll, pretty much evaluate it, because that's the thing. With them saying that they're gonna update it, he's gonna easily be 4 or 5 mil. You know what I'm saying? He gets Avalanche, that's an all-in-one card. Whatever side of the field he's on, he's gonna blast somebody and make them fumble. And not only that, if he touches them slightly with universal coverage, they're gonna drop the football, as we all know. So he could be a good investment, all right? But I'm just letting you guys know, if it turns out that it's a lie, you're just gonna lose, because as the cards get closer to June, it's just going to be disgusting. And I'm going to go over Andrew Luck and him having Omaha and all that stuff. The game pretty much right now is probably at the worst state that it's been in a very long time. And it's all because of bad decisions that the cards get. All this film study stuff and Omaha, that should not be in the game. It shouldn't be in college football, all in this game. There should be no way, even with Tom Brady cheating uncontrollably with Spygate, he did not know for certain exactly what the other team was going to do. Now you do. I played a guy just now, he knew everything, and he waited until I did my adjustments, and then he did his adjustments. And then he just threw the ball anywhere on the field, and it worked. It doesn't make any sense. But this card right here, like I said, I would probably avoid it. Like I said, it's very, very tough, because like I said, if they get Avalanche, it's a wrap. They get Avalanche, it's pretty much over. So that definitely works. Now, this card right here, right, with only Truz, the bigger issue with this guy is this, right? He's not going to really break tackles, but he can spin. So he doesn't really need to break tackles as much because he gets tanked for 0. So he could actually work out pretty well for a lot of us that, just know the whole scheme of his height. Because he's 6'8", he can spin. Yes, I know it doesn't make sense, but the taller your player is, the more likely he is to spin the freaking blood out of somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like, just spin him into another galaxy, dude. Like, it gets real intensely crazy. So, with all of that being said, you guys have to understand a few things. He may be wild if they give him one other ability, and that's pretty much, angry runs. Will they give it to him, though? That's the thing. Another thing that's interesting, right? With Truz on a running back, I've been told that he can't fumble. Now, I don't know how true that is, but it's a possibility that it could be true. The quarterbacks we know for a fact with Truz can fumble, but I'm being told that he possibly won't. So this guy, right, depending on what he's going for right now, he's going for 1.3. All right. Now, it's 195 bids for this. So I don't know where that's going to end up in 45 minutes, but there's a chance you could probably get him for cheaper. He would be a decent investment because you would be set at running back for the entire year. Unless they outright gave somebody with his height, his weight, and everything like that, similar numbers, and, Phantom or whatever it is, angry runs. Well, it's Phenom, not Phantom. He would probably be a good card to invest in because his price was definitely going to go up. Just simply for the fact that more than likely, with the way that he's built, if you can just get one spin, it's a wrap, right? Now, the only thing that concerns me, okay, the only thing that concerns me is the fact that he's not going to naturally break tackles. So if somebody comes in and they just conservative tackle you all the time, he's going to just drop. He doesn't have an ability for it. But I would be willing to invest in this card. And if he gets angry runs, you add it on. And again, remember, if they add the ability on, it's a very, very high chance that they're going to charge you for it. So it's kind of crazy because it still probably won't be 0 AP. You may have to pay for the angry runs. So that also is a problem. Ronnie Lott, if he gets Avalanche, he's going to be very, very useful on a lot of teams. The only problem is how much they're going to charge for it. Because remember, they're not going to make these outdated cards just all of a sudden be OP for free with 0 AP. They're not going to give them like a baked on. They're just going to add it. So it's going to be something that's going to cost you AP, how much you're willing to spend. With his current price, averaging right now 1.8, I'm not certain that it's worth it. I'm not certain. There's so many other cards right now. Boz, you got Derrick Henry. There's so many of them that have much more capability that you could do a lot more with. I just probably wouldn't invest in that. DK Metcalf, similar to Washington, right? You give him Avalanche, it's a wrap. Avalanche won't be 0, but it's going to still be a wrap. It's going to be pretty much done. It's going to be over. Finito. Done. Everything finished. It's no way possible this card is not going to be like 4 or 5 mil with Avalanche. Okay? So this is something that you guys really, really need to understand. That card, because of the position, he's taken away a whole side. It all depends on if they give him, with the updated abilities, Avalanche. This guy easily jumps to 3-4 mil with Double Me. We all know that. That might be the easiest one for everybody to invest with because he's easily going to jump into it. Why somebody would build this card and not give him baked in Double Me, I have no idea. But he could be a card that could be a possibly good investment. Especially like 1.21. People are realizing right now that he's bad. For me, it doesn't really matter because I have dudes with height. He would be good just for the fact that he's taller and he would get Double Me baked in. You know what I'm saying? But again, I'm not ready to invest in anything because I'm going to have to see what EA is doing. Now this, I'm 100% against. Simply for the fact he does not get the good spin and there's no benefit to anything else that he gets. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't, even with like Pass Lead Elite, like I just don't, I'm not buying what EA is selling with this card. Michael Vick of old is not what he is right now. Like in 25, this guy is terrible. His card has been terrible all year. Even though he's right-handed, it's definitely not one of the more lucrative investments that I would say, yo, let's do this. Like, it's just not going to happen. So more than likely, right, I would say that Philel is probably the best, option to go with because he can spin and it's going to be very, very hard to make him fumble. Even if somehow you put Avalanche and Force Supreme, everything, Colossus, like, bro, everything on one card and he possibly gets a fumble, he's not going to fumble consistently. So he could be a good investment. All right. He should not lose his value entirely. So I'm probably going to say, you know what? This guy will probably add him to the squad. We'll see what happens because people are going to start to get restless with the way that everything is setting up. So I'm not going to buy it just yet. I'm going to wait a little bit more. And you should too. And let's see what EA does. But that's pretty much what I've been told. And that's come directly from EA. But we have to wait to see it. The next drop is tomorrow. So let's see what they do. And then we'll act from there. All right? I'm going to see you guys and girls next time. You enjoy your day. Stay well, stay blessed. One love, y'all.